Sa buwan pong ito ng Mayo, patuloy po ang ating magiging pagninilay, pagtatalakay sa napakagandang message po sa atin ng ating Santo Papa sa World Communications Day. Better said, yung 58th World Communications Day. At ang kagandahan po nitong mensaheng ito na Santo Papa, katulad na ng natalakay ng dalawa pang nauna sa akin, si Father Kevin Crisostomo at si Father Lito Dador, ay patuloy pa ho at napakalawak pa ng pwede nating talakayin. At pwedeng pagnilayan patungkol po sa mensaheng ito at ang kahulugan nito pagdating sa buhay natin. And of course, it's all about artificial intelligence. Alam na po natin yung title naman ng World Communications Day message ng Santo Papa. Ang message na ito or ang title nito is Artificial Intelligence and the Wisdom of the Heart Towards a Fully Human Communication. At dahil dito po sa mensaheng ito natin Santo Papa sa titulong ibinigay sa atin, binuksan sa atin ang napakalawak na usapin patungkol sa ano nga ba ang artificial intelligence at di lamang yun. Ano nga ba epekto nito? Hindi lamang sa communication, kundi sa buhay nating mga tao. Nakakatuwa po, kung gusto nyo, pagbalikan nyo yung mga pagtatalakay na ginawa ni Father Kevin at ni Father Lito Dador, no? Ang gaganda ng kanilang mga ibinigay na examples at saka explanations. Ano ba ang aking magiging trabaho kundi siguro dagdagan o sa isang bahagi likutin pa ng mas kaunti pa ang inyong mga isipan patungkol dito. At gagawin natin ito siyempre sa pamamagitan ng lagi nating pagbabalik tanaw doon sa mensahe mismo ng Santo Papa. And of course, the message itself begins with these words. And I quote, ang sabi ng Santo Papa, "The development of systems of artificial intelligence to which I devoted my recent message for the World Day of Peace is radically affecting the world of information and communication, and through it, certain foundations of life in society." End of quote. Doon pa lang, ang linaw na gusto na Santo Papa na bigyan diin ang katotohanan at epekto ng artificial intelligence pagdating sa pagkakaroon ng impormasyon at sa pagkakaroon ng komunikasyon. At kasama nito, yung iba't ibang aspeto ng buhay ng tao. At ang ganda pa nung pagpapatuloy na Santo Papa sa kanyang message, sabi din yan, again, I quote, "The rapid spread of astonishing innovations whose workings and potentials are beyond the ability of most of us to understand and appreciate has proven both exciting and disorienting. This leads inevitably to deeper questions about the nature of human beings, our distinctiveness, and the future of the species Homo sapiens in the age of artificial intelligence." End of quote. Doon pa lamang sa term ng Santo Papang both exciting and disorienting, kita na natin. Nariyan na yung sinasabi nga ni Father Kevin, if hindi ako nagkakamali, yung good and bad, pero meron pa siyang binanggit, yung ugly. Ugly about the reality itself of artificial intelligence. But narito tayo para tingnan natin, ano nga ba ito sinasabi ng Santo Papa that is both exciting and disorienting. Of course, balik ulit tayo. AI. Ang dami ng definitions na ibinigay tungkol sa AI. Basta't ang akin, kung akong tatanungin nyo, malinaw sa akin, ang AI, it's a computer-related reality. Konektado lagi sa computer because it's all about artificial intelligence. So, it is basically that computer branch that tries to develop and create an intelligent machine that can perform tasks that usually requires human intelligence. Para baga sinisimulate yung kakayanan nating mag-isip o gumawa ng mga reasonings. Of course, this is done by using whatever is available, such as information, such as the present technology, na ang ginagawa is, it includes learning from experience, reasoning, problem solving, understanding natural language, and even recognizing emotions. Yun yung tinatry niyang i-simulate. Of course, with all of this, alam natin right now, in the level of technology that we already are experiencing, napakalayo na ng nararating nitong AI na ito. Wherein the systems that have already been developed, they analyze data, from data analysis, nagkakaroon na rin sila ng capacity to come up with a decision or a conclusion. And not only that, to even adapt the new information even without explicit programming. Parang nga nagtanong ako minsan doon sa isang speaker namin before in Bangkok, ano po ba yung AI? Ang sinasabi niya sa akin, it's a whole floor filled with computers. Tuloy-tuloy, without any human intervention anymore. Ang ginagawa na lang ng tao is to maintenance, sisilipin, kung may nagiinit, tinitingnan, kung merong naglalag. Pero all of these computers autonomously would operate, and function in such a way, processing data. Nakuha ng data, nag-a-analyze ng data, then makes conclusions over these datas. Sabi ko, ganun, para talagang independente na sa tao. And in fact, without any explicit programming, gagawin na niya itong data processing na ito. That is what basically artificial intelligence is right now. They try to simulate human intelligence. They try to perform complex tasks, trying to even solve problems in ways that were previously thought to be exclusive only to humans. So how does an AI work, or an artificial intelligence? I'm not an expert on this, pero trying to research about it, tinignan ko, paano ba talaga nagpa-function itong AI? Bukod sa ito ba'y maraming computers, how does it function? How does it operate? So that I may understand yung kanyang implications pagdating sa communication, and not only to communication, mukhang ang sinasabi nga Santo Papa, in our way of life. Ang una, malinaw na malinaw, AI functions with first collecting data. The first step in an artificial intelligence system is data collection. Simulat sa pool noong parang early 2020 or 2019 pa nga, 2018, hindi ako nagkakamali, nabanggit na the new, sabi nga nila ay gold or parang pinakamahalagang bagay sa mundo ngayon is information. And seemingly enough, it is true, lalo na pagdating sa artificial intelligence. Where there is data, it will collect it. Whether it's an image, whether it's a text, whether it's an audio, whether it's a video, or any other format in the digital world, i-collect yan. As long as it is data. Ito yung ginagawa ng AI. Especially if there is a specific task for this data or specific task for the AI to perform on. So, una yon. So, the first one, collection of data. The second, in the process of artificial intelligence, is data pre-processing. Ano ba naman itong data pre-processing? Before using the data for whatever purposes, what it does is it pre-processes it. Parang fini-filter ba? What do I mean by filtering? Kasi yung data minsan, alam naman natin, meron siyang halo na. May halo siguro ng false, may halo na rin ng mga garbled, lalo na yung mga audio. Even if it's a video format, mayroong mga video na napakalabo naman, too pixelated. Ang ginagawa ng AI, before it transforms this data according to its purpose, ang ginagawa niya, pinipreprocess muna, nililinis, pinifilter. It removes noises, it handles the pixelated form, it standardizes the format. Pakinggan nyo na, ini-standardize niya. Whatever is already included in the process, it will come out with the same format. Okay? So parang finilter na. That's the second thing. The third thing AI does with all this data is it model trains. Nagagawa ng modeling, hindi model training in artificial intelligence is very much connected to its algorithms. So what do we mean by model train it, yung data? With various algorithms, the artificial intelligence or the machine itself learns and deep learns, through sinatawag nilang train models. What do we mean by that? Why? Because during the training process, there are certain forms or models that would learn certain patterns and relationships in the data. To do what? To make predictions or even decisions. May certain models na tinitrain hanggang sa masanay na itong the whole system or the machine itself, that whatever data is given to it, it is able now to learn certain patterns and relationships. In fact, I read something about how artificial intelligence would know our emotions. Kaya na niya. By the way we write things, by the way we speak. So, babasahin niya. For whatever purpose, hindi ko pa sinasabi yung purpose, but for whatever purpose, it can already read even emotions and see patterns wherein when it reaches a certain, sabi nga, level of seeing the model, no, na nakita na nila, they will make certain decisions. Yun na naman, autonomous. So that's the third part of the process. It is model training. It creates models from which patterns will be seen for it to make decisions. Fourth, na ginagawa ng process na ito, they test and evaluate. Supposedly, no, after the training models, all these machines or computers will now test on the new data. To do what? To evaluate its performance. Kasi nga, may purpose din naman kung ba't nga kinreate itong mga systems na ito. Now, they will perform in accordance to the purpose. If they perform below par, the processes will vary. If they perform according to what is sought, ay siyempre, paglalaruan na yon, no? And then these tests and evaluations will now help ensure that the AI system can generalize well to new and unseen data. So, hinahanda na niya yung mismong sistema para sa mga darating pang data after testing and evaluating yung results ng test modeling. And then, yan, haba pala ng proseso, pero ang bilis nito, ha? Pag pinag-usapan natin ito ngayon, malamang-lamang in a millisecond, nagawa na niya lahat ito. Why? Because the next in the process is what they call deployment of data. Because after a successful test or evaluation, the AI model is now deployed in a real-world application system where it now can perform tasks autonomously or even assist humans in making decisions. Yan, nakikita na yung applied science na. Ginagamit na natin to our smart gadgets or smartphones, even smart TVs, and then sa computer, all of this, even in certain services, no? And then from there, deployment na, application na, ang kasunod na niyan is continuous learning. Some AI systems are designed to continuously learn from new data, which allows them to improve and adapt over time. Ako ay witness to this. Bakit ko sinasabing witness ako dito? I remember one meeting of the bishops of the Episcopal Commission of the Youth, no? On the youth. At naalala ko yung ECY, nagmi-meeting kami, bigla ako nakapagtanong. Ang tanong ko po sa mga ibang obispo, bakit pa December 16 ang official parang day, World Youth Day celebration ng Pilipinas, at yun yung collection natin tuwing simbang gabi, no? December 16, if I'm not mistaken. Alam niyo, walang nakasagot na obispo. At dahil walang nakasagot na obispo, ako naman, si Mr. ChatGPT, nilagay ko naman kay Mr. ChatGPT. Tinanong ko kay ChatGPT, what is the, sabi ko, ano yun? The reason why the Philippine Church, Catholic Church, decided, no, to make December 16 as the official date of the World Youth Day. Ba? Sumagot. Sabi ko, kaya mo, yan ang problema nitong mga artificial intelligence. Sumagot. May sagot naman po si ChatGPT. Hindi siya katulad namin, mga obispong sabi, hindi ko alam. Si ChatGPT, sumagot. Alam niyo sagot ni ChatGPT? Ang sagot ni ChatGPT, it is because it is a memorial of the death anniversary of the Gumbursa. Naku, patay kang bata ka. Eh, di ako naman si Batanggenyo. Sabi ko agad, yan, mali ka. No? Why? Because December 16, alam na nating February. It's not the month of December, but February. So, nilagay ko agad, you are mistaken. No? Sinabihan ko. Pero alam niyo, hindi naman nagalit sa akin si AI, si ChatGPT. Ba, nagpasuri. I apologize. At di lamang yun. Dahil nag-apologize na siya, it started learning already. It began using the new data, changing now its answer. Kasi nga, ang AI, wala naman siyang mali siya. Hindi siya masama ang loob kung siya'y mali. Pero it will continuously learn from the new data where it is allowed to improve and adapt over time. So kung mapapansin nyo, everything is about data. Hindi lang about data. The processes behind how data is used. Kanina sabi ko, filtered. Third, tested and evaluated. And from there, deployed. So, dun mamaya, makikita natin bakit mahalaga ito. Kasi, it will now determine the questions that would come after. No? Kasi ang tanong ngayon paano ngayon ito kung? Yan, yung mga kung na yan. Anyways, so, it's just an introduction. Sabi ko, hindi ako, expert. But at least, in an initial trying to learn about AI, yun yung nakita ko. These are the processes. And in fact, because of this, although nasa early stages pa lang tayo AI, malayo pa po mararating ng AI, meron na silang pinag-uusapan na 3 types of artificial intelligence. And I hope we also realize what these 3 types are. At the evolution of artificial intelligence is going towards a full manifestation of all these 3 types. Ano yung una? Ang tawag nila doon sa una is artificial narrow intelligence. Very technical ang mga term. Yun yung sinabi ko kanina. Machines learning. Yung a system trying to learn. Ano yung second type? The second type is what they call artificial general intelligence. Mula doon sa machine learning, naggagawa na siya, pinaprocess na nga yung data, nagiging ano na siya, machine intelligence. Because it's now making decisions. Trying to give out certain conclusions of its own, Hindi dahil ating inactivate sa kanya, kundi siya yung nagawa nun. That's the second type of artificial intelligence na. A third type of artificial intelligence is what they call artificial super intelligence. Wow, super. Parang superhero ito. Ano naman ito? Ito na yung highest level as of the moment, of artificial intelligence. And it is considered what? Hindi ko alam kung narating na o naroroon na halos, pero what they call machine consciousness. Yung isa, ang tawag, machine learning. Yung ikalwa, machine intelligence. Tingnan nyo, pakinggan nyo. Yung pangatlo, machine consciousness. It is as if, without any external considerations or influences, it will make its own decisions and processes depending on how the machine itself would assess anything. Hindi na dahil sa ipinabato sa kanya, kundi dahil sa kung anong gustong gawin niya. Wow! May ano na ba yan? Well, whether we like it or not, sa mundo natin ngayon, these are realities that are already taking place. These various applications and systems with the use of AI are growing in number and evolving rapidly. Wala nang tigil yan. Maya't maya na tayong mabibigla na ganito na pala ngayon. And whether we like it or not, tama Santo Papa, it does not only affect the world of communications, but it will and it is already affecting the way we live our lives right now. Of course, communications included. So ano ngayon ang lumalabas dito sa message ng Santo Papa? Ibinabalik tayo ng Santo Papa to what I believe is really the most important really in all realities of human existence na nagkakaroon tayo talaga. Kahit sa politika, kahit sa education, kahit saan, kahit sa lungan ng simbahan. I believe this is one of the crucial points that the Holy Father is just bringing us back to. Alam niyo kung ano yun? Tungkol sa puso na naman. Ang term na ginamit niya in reference to artificial intelligence is the importance of the wisdom of the heart. Ang sabi nga, and again, I quote our Holy Father, he says, at this time in history, which risks becoming rich in technology and poor in humanity, our reflections must begin with the human heart. Balik na naman sa puso, sa gitna ng lahat ng teknolohiya, ang kababagsakan pala natin, puso pa rin. Again, end of quote na yun, Baka akala kay Santo Papa yan. Akin na ito. It is once again about the human heart. Why? No, why? It is the heart which dictates how all of this, no matter how well advanced we are in technology, how all of these will be used and how all of these will function. No? Ang ganda nga doon sa message ng Santo Papa, he quoted from the Book of Wisdom, chapter 6, verses 12 to 16. At sabi nga ng Santo Papa doon, this wisdom of the heart lets itself be found by those who seek it and be seen by those who love it. It anticipates those who desire it, and it goes in search of those who are worthy of it. Ganyan. It's a biblical passage that somehow speaks to us of how the heart works. When we speak of the wisdom of heart, it is being used by those, first and foremost, who seek it. Kahit naman saan na natin dalhin, sabi ko nga, ito na yung sikreto siguro ng lahat kahit naman po ang gamit natin ballpen, pansulat lang naman ang alam nating pagkakaimbento niyan, pero pag ginusto mong isaksak sa katabi mo, yung ballpen nagiging dangerous weapon. No, hindi po ba? And what makes it a dangerous weapon? It's not the ballpen itself. It is the one who made it. How? It started first from the heart. Whether it's because of hate, whether it's because of the anger within the heart, it's the one that controlled the person to use it in such a way that other than it being a ballpen, it became a weapon. Ay, alam niyo mga kapatid, I believe that somehow the Holy Father really hits it na bullseye. Na here, ang usapan talaga puso nating lahat And the church has this function really, or this mission, to form the heart. Not only to form the heart, but to fill the heart with the values of the kingdom of God. And if it is filled with the values of the kingdom of God, siguro hindi natin katatakutan how AI will be used or how AI will develop into. But the problem is yan. Again, we're back into the heart. At ako natutuwa in one of the meetings I've had in Bangkok, and there was one speaker who was knowledgeable about computers and everything, who spoke about how important it is that we become now in this world of artificial intelligence. Ang sabi niya, illogical. Or in a certain way, irrational. In what sense? In relation to artificial intelligence. Bakit? Kasi the algorithms will dictate certain decisions, di ba? Natuwa ako doon, sabi niya, what makes saints, ang pag-ano niya, who they are, is because they are irrational. And somehow, ganda no? And being irrational sometimes is because of the heart also. Alam na ng isip di ba? Pero sabihin, kasi sabi ng puso ko, yun. Dito rin, napakahalaga nun, kaya tuntua ako nun, kasi sinabi niya, for example, if you compute something, for example, trying to help a person who lives far away, who does not have any education, and you will have to spend certain amount of money for that person. If you compute it, ang bakaaring sabihin sa iyo ng iyong computation is that it is illogical for you to help that person. Masasayang lang yung pera mo. And I've had experiences like that, especially with helping kids with cancer. No? Ang computation minsan ng utak, sasabihin, sayang na yan, fourth stage na yan. Doon ka na lang tumulong, mas marami pang matutulungan kasi yan, fourth stage, mamatay na yan. Ang ganda nung sinabi ng speaker namin, sabi niya, that's where the irrational has to come in when it comes to having faith. Katulad kasi ng charity daw, and charity is really from the heart. So, ewan ko, pero I believe this is where really everything is really founded, no? At napakahalaga nitong sharing na ito, or reflection given to us by our Holy Father, asking us to go back once again to the heart. Because his past messages were about listening with the ears of the heart, speaking with the tongues of the heart, or speak from the heart, di ba? Kung makikita natin, it's all about the heart. And here we are again. It's again about the heart. Why? Because whether we like it or not, unless the heart that we have is well-formed, mga kapatid, hindi natin maintindihan kung ano nga ba ang pupuntahan nitong artificial intelligence. Why? doon sa World Communications Day message, nilagay din ng Santo Papa doon, opportunities and dangers. Whether we like it or not, there are opportunities and dangers referring to artificial intelligence. Nilagay din ng Santo Papa, he quoted from Romano Guardini. Ako naalala ko si Romano Guardini nung ako nag-aaral. Parang napapakinggan ko lang siya sa liturgy. Pero dito ginamit na Santo Papa. Why? He quoted Romano Guardini when Romano Guardini spoke about technology. Wala pa itong si AI. Dahil 1900s pa, nung early 1900s pa ata si Romano Guardini. Nagre-refer siya sa mga technological advancements and developments. Ang sabi ni Romano Guardini, huwag nyo nang pigilan yan. Hindi na natin pipigilan. Hindi tayo maaring laging nakakapit sa nakalipas na mawawala na rin naman. But he gave this warning. And I quote from the Holy Father din, The Holy Father quoted him, and this is what he said. We are constantly in the process of becoming. We must enter into this process, each in his or her own way, with openness, but also with sensitivity to everything that is destructive and inhumane therein. End of quote. Sabi niya, hindi na mapipigilan, pero, yan, salitang pero, we have to be very sensitive to, ano sabi niya? To everything that is destructive and inhumane therein. Kasi no matter how we put it, di ba, lagi natin pinag-usapan pros and cons. Hindi pwedeng lahat pros. I would always remember din yung aming mga seminarista, no? They wrote me a letter requesting for the use of smartphones, no? Para sa regular, dapat meron na daw sila. I always remember that because they all wrote there all the advantages that they see in the use of smartphones for mission work, for communication. Tama naman lahat eh. Kaya lang binalik ko sa kanila yung kanilang sulat. Alam nyo, nilagay ko. Paano ko ito papayagan? Seemingly, you haven't seen yet the disadvantages. And that's where the danger is. If you only see advantages and you do not see the disadvantages, then you will not become careful in their use. So sabi ko, ibalik nyo sa akin pag alam nyo na ang disadvantages. As of the moment, hindi pa po nila ibinabalik. Kaya wala pang approval. But anyways, here we have now artificial intelligence. And here we have now the heart, the human heart, how important it is. And now, looking at the reality, we see and we should see that first and foremost, whether we like it or not, these technological advancements are positive things. There are a lot of beautiful, positive opportunities coming from them. Ewan ko, I can enumerate almost everything from enhanced automation. Ang lahat bumibilis na ngayon, no? Lahat naman nakita natin whether there is anything being produced when it is not only automated. Ang tawag na ngayon with artificial intelligence, enhanced. Hindi na lang siya basta gagawa, mas efficient pa ang paggawa niya, no? Any machine nakakonekta sa AI can now learn, adapt to new tasks more quickly, making production more efficient, no? Kaysa doon sa traditional machines. Nung una, yung traditional machines sa pinapaltan tao, ang AI systems, pinapaltan niya yung traditional machines na, hindi ng tao. Kita niyo yun? Enhanced automation. That's an opportunity. Second, ang tawag nila, personalized services. Sabi ko, paano AI nga yan? Paano magiging mas personal? Ay kasi, si personal services ay nagmumula so how AI will read all the data, analyze the data, process it, test it, and put it on a certain model, yung model training na sinasabi natin. For example, the more clicks, the more binabasa na niya yan. And because of that, magiging ang response ng AI sa iyo is modeled sa iyong mga likes. Hindi nyo pansin, pag nagpe-Facebook kayo, sumilip kayo ng kaunti sa kutsi, maya't maya pa, lahat na ng klaseng kutsi sa iyo pupunta. Lahat na ng reels, lahat na ng kung ano. Tapos, itry mo pang ang search mo ay more specific. Ilagay mo sports car. Aalisin na niyan yung mga 4x4s. Ang tatakbo na sa iyo, lahat ng mabibilis, sports cars. O kung gusto mo, puntahan mo, hybrid or electric. Yun ang lalabas sa iyo, kahit doon sa sales, kahit doon sa store. And that is how AI functions. So, nagiging mas personalized. Naka-dedicate sa iyo. No? Especially for business, di ba? Third, sabi nga nila, improved healthcare. Better, sabi nga nila, more efficient healthcare. Why? Because with AI, sabi nga nila, AI has the potential to revolutionize the healthcare industry by improving patient outcomes and even reducing costs. AI-powered machines na ginagamit na sa ospital ngayon, presently can analyze medical images and patient data to detect diseases early and accurately. It can even lead to early interventions, improved treatments, and better patient outcomes. Kita niyo yun? Doon pa lamang kita niyo na ang positive nito. In fact, nakapanood nga ako ng mga gumagamit ng nanobots for operations. And it is being controlled by the AI, artificial intelligence. So, mas maganda yung, sabi nga nila, success rate ng operasyon. No? And of course, it reduces waste and would hopefully cut costs. Yun yung third. Ang fourth, ang tinatawag nila, meron daw that because of AI, we will have now smarter transportations. No? Without the interventions of, sabi nga, drivers, human drivers, AI can already take us from one place to another more efficiently, more safely. Laging yan di ba? Yung mga tinatawag nila, self-driving cars. Nakakatakot nung una yan, sabi ko paano. Kaya lang, the more AI evolves into something much better, na alam niyo, nagiging much safer siya. Natatanggal yung human factor kasi yung inaantok, mainit ang ulo, wala lahat yun. Why? Because when AI drives, it's AI, not a human person. Then kasama din dyan, yung tinatawag nila, fifth, yung faster, more efficient data processing for communications. Alam na naman natin ito, no? Isasabi na Santo Papa, how it already revolutionizes the way we communicate with each other. Ang bilis na ngayon talaga ng lahat, no? And hindi lang yun. Minsan nakikipag-communicate ka, sila na yung nag-a-adjust para sa boses mo, sa tunog mo, and then at the same time, para lang mas maging malinaw ang form of communication that we have. Sila na rin yung nagsusort ng data minsan. So, a lot of these things are opportunities. Napakaganda. Di lalo na pag nag-evolve. What else, ika nga nila. But, we all know that these are just things that we can really already see. And not only that, no? Kita naman natin siguro nga yung applications na presently, alam natin ginagamit natin. Si Siri, si Alexa, lalo ko yung mga Alexa yan, no? At saka si Siri, no? Yung Alexa, good morning. No? Kaya lang, nakakatakot din yung minsan kasi natatanda ko si Alexa. Good morning ako every morning. Kasabi ni Alexa, good morning Marcelino, bibigay siya ng news. Pero minsan, hindi ko ako bumati. Gumising lang ako pagbangon ko. Si Alexa na bumati, good morning Marcelino. Takot ko. Yun, tuloy, may naglagay sa akin, sabi sa akin, i-close ko daw yung ano ng camera. Wow, yan na ang AI. No? Then we also have yung algorithms na ginagamit sa social media that I have spoken to you about. Kung ano yung tingnan mo, yun ang ibabigay sa iyo. No? Then there are also recommendations being given on streaming platforms. No? The more you watch something, the more they will send to you these kinds of movies. Manood ka sa Netflix, ng mga telenovela, mga K-drama yan. Lagi, lalabas yung Korean o anumang drama. No? Financial institutions, they use it against all fraud. No? And then yun nga, yung healthcare diagnostics. So all of these applications na right now, all of these opportunities. But let us not forget, as our Holy Father said also, no, and I quote again from the message of our Holy Father, depending on the inclination of the heart, everything within our reach becomes either an opportunity or a threat. Our very bodies created for communication and communion can become a means of aggression. So too, every technical extension of our humanity can be a means of loving service or of hostile domination. End of quote. Pope Francis. Balik tayo sa puso na naman. No? The dangers are there. Why? Because whether we like it or not, it's not a perfect system. It would like to appear to be, but it is not. And relying too heavily on AI, tinanong nyo ha, para makita nyo. Ako, ang tinanong ko mismo, AI. Anong tinanong ko kay AI? Kay ChatGPT at kay Microsoft Bing. Tinanong ko, what are the disadvantages and negative effects of artificial intelligence? Sila may sagot ha. One, it speaks of over-dependency. An over-reliance on AI can lead to a dependency where people, us, may lose our ability to perform certain tasks without its assistance. Kung ano naman yun, parang naging helpless. Hindi nyo napansin tayo ngayon, para tayong hubot-huban. Pag walang dalang cellphone, too much dependency. And somehow, it gets worse with AI. Hindi na tayo makaalam ng isang bagay without Googling or without referring to ChatGPT. Baka mamaya-maya, bakit sa tuwa din naman nga na gagamitin mo pang sermon, ang ganda ng outline, maya-maya, hindi ka na makagawa sarili mong outline. Do not know, but it is AI telling us that over-reliance or dependency is taking away from us certain capabilities that are but ours. Second, yun yung biases. Si AI ang may sabi, AI systems can inherit biases present in the data they are trained on. Kasi kahit pa sila autonomous afterwards, remember how they began. Their genesis is a programmer. The programmer programs it with certain rules, or sabihin na natin, reasons behind, motivations. Kaya nga, dala-dala niya yung biases ng programmer or even the companies who own them. So, ano mangyayari? They will always lead towards biased outcomes and decisions. Kahit minsan, tingnan ninyo, you try to write a word that is about religion, ang bagal bago mag-react. Because there are certain biases already there. Subukan mo magsulat ng anything about woke culture or LGBTQA, ang bilis sumagot. Why? Because these are biases, whether we like it or not. Third, pinag-uusapan na rin ang job displacements. Noong una pa, sinasabi traditional machines. They already took away so many jobs from so many human persons. Eh di lalo na si AI. Kasi ngayon si AI na nag-iisip. No? Automation driven by AI can now lead to much more job displacements. Why? Because there are now more tasks na dati tao lang ang pwedeng gumawa, na ngayon si AI na ang gagawa. Hindi na lang yung machine, si AI pa. Fourth, privacy concerns. Yan. Hindi na may iwasan talaga minsan. That is one of our present problems right now. Why? AI systems can often require access to large amounts of data, raising concerns about privacy and data security. No? Kaya binibigyan tayo minsan ng instructions to sa security data, privacy settings natin, lagay natin to. Kasi pag hindi, automatic. Nagkakaroon tayo ng mga ganyang And then, of course, fifth, this is where the heart really has to work a lot in our Christian faith, ethical issues. Why? There are so many ethical issues that will arise from the use of AI and more so eventually, no? Pagdating sa gamit nito, why? Because sometimes the outcomes are not what are intended to be by those who are using it. Not by those who made it, but those who are using it. Why? Because sometimes, paano kung si AI makalikha ng mistake or may cause harm? I would remember yun, tinanong ko yung balian ta sagot, si Gumbursa, hindi naman Gumbursa December 16. And yet, wala namang parusa, So who is responsible for it? Or what if an AI makes an autonomous, sariling decision over human decisions, making it and causing the death, for example, of millions, or the enslavery of others? Sabihin nyo, ay, posible naman, Bishop, yun. Taong gumawa, hindi nga pinag-uusapan nga natin And in fact, have you not noticed a lot of movies in the 2000s? 2003, 2002, 2004, tukol dyan. Kasi nag-speculate nila over it. Remember yung Terminator 3? The Rise of the Machines? It's all about this. Yung matanda, Skynet yun, Skynet system. Siya ay isang artificial intelligence now. Kaya nawala ang ng tao, ang dominance ng tao. Second, yung iRobot kay Will Smith, 2004. Tandaan niya? Yung parang AI na siyang lahat ng robot kinokontrol niya. Halos i-enslave lahat ng tao para daw sa kanilang sariling kabutihan. It was an autonomous decision by an AI. Paano nga kung mangyari nga yun? Who is now responsible? Pinatay nga yung creator. Sixth, over-reliance on technology, no? Tawag nila doon sa use of the human reasoning, critical thinking. Relying too much on AI can lead to a decrease in critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Kanina yung capabilities lang, ito na, sa paggamit ng utak natin. And one becomes now, kung wala na tayong kakayanan ng critical thinking, or nabawasan na ng todo-todo, alam niyo nangyayari sa atin, we become oblivious to lies and even corrupted information. Hindi na natin alam kung ano yung tunay, hindi. 7, loss of human interaction. Increased use of AI can lead to a decrease in human interaction, which is important for social and emotional well-being. Ano nga ba nangyayari? Mas maganda naman kausap minsan ng AI eh. Hindi naman nasagot, hindi naman nagagalit sa iyo. Mag-joke ka, tumatawa. Hindi sasabihin sa iyo ng AI, it's corny. Tatawa. Pag tao kausap mo, siyempre parang, if you don't want to be rejected, or you don't want to hear opinions of others, ay talk to an AI kung gusto mo. Now, you lose human interaction. And 8, ito pa hindi pa ito lang yan. Pero 8, sabi nila, environmental impact. Sabi niyo, ano naman ang connection ng AI sa environmental impact? Well, di ba sabi sa inyo, isang buong building minsan o isang buong floor, panay computers yan, ay pagdami ng paggamit, paglaki ng pangangailangan to have these kinds of systems. And the use of AI requires significant computational power, which has also an equivalence to environmental impact. Because of what? Higher energy consumption. Whether we like it or not, meron yan. Although, sabihin na natin hindi masyadong, pero meron eh. And et cetera, bahala na kayo. Eh, tama si Pope Francis. That we have to rethink, or not only rethink, we have to discern and think more deeply about how important our hearts are and how important this artificial intelligence is right now, that we cannot but consider them in such a way that we have to now reconsider the use of all of this. Hindi pinagbabawal ng Santo Papa, ha? Pinag-iisip tayo kung paano dapat natin makita ang paggamit nito. And in fact, at the end of that World Communications message, he posited few questions, some questions, na sabi niya, it's a start. Kasi ang dami pang maaaring questions na mangyari. Just to give some examples to this, and I quote him, how do we safeguard professionalism and the dignity of workers in the fields of information and communication, together with that of users throughout the world? How do we do that? Sabi niya, how do we ensure the interoperability of platforms? Eh, may nagmamayari eh. Eh, paano nga kung ayaw nitong isa doon sa kabila? O, yung isa ang bumili ng lahat. Paano ngayon yun? How do we enable businesses that develop digital platforms to accept their responsibilities? Ay, paano nga pala kung profit-oriented lagi? They would seem to be very humanly open to every possibility. Gusto nila human development, pero at the end of the day, it's all about the pockets. Who are filling up their pockets? Meron ng data dyan. Some of the richest persons in the world right now are technological mga owners ng mga companies ng technology. How do we make more transparent the criteria guiding the operation of algorithms for indexing and de-indexing, and for search engines that are capable of celebrating or canceling persons? Computer-based na. Whether you're accepted in society or not, minsan sila lang bahala. How do we guarantee the transparency of information processing? So many questions. The answer? We have to talk about it. The answers? We have to open a dialogue amongst all users, owners, company, and even programmers on the reality again of the human heart. Ang hirap lang kasi how suddenly everybody hates to talk about what's wrong with the human heart. What's wrong with the human conscience? Ang daming tao sasabihin, we're very spiritual but we hate religions. Why? Because they hate other people reminding them what's good and what's bad. Tuloy na alala ko, alam niyo kung ano? And this is to end this talk. Naalala ko Genesis chapter 3, verses 4 to 5. And I remember how in one of the reels I saw in Facebook, merong isang parang debate atay ng mga scientists and people of faith. At sabi nung isa, how can you believe in a God who does not want you to know what is good and bad? Ang sagot noong tinatanong, sabi niya, well, may I remind you, the first one who made that question was a snake. And that was the first lie. Ang akala natin, we were being prevented to know what is right and good, or right and wrong. No. Ang sabi ng Diyos, huwag kang kakain doon kasi mamamatay ka. So it's not us being separated from knowing what is right and wrong. But it is God saving us from being able to be autonomous in our ability to know and our ability to do. At yun mga nangyari sa tao, di ba? When man began to think for himself and to do things for himself, we have had wars, we have had hunger, we have had disasters, we have had things that are caused by our own decision making. Tuloy naalala ko nga itong Genesis chapter 3 verses 4 to 5 that simply tells us where are we leading ourselves to. And now with AI, the same question. Ang ganda nung ginawa ng Santo Papa, he's not prohibiting us, not telling us this is wrong or bad, but he is reminding us that unless we are willing to talk about it, we are willing to discern about it, to pray over it, and to open ourselves to consider what could be, then we are leading ourselves to a precipice that hopefully hindi natin marating, and it will be the end of humanity. Hopefully not. But anyways, di ba? Hindi naman ang pupuntahan ng usapang ito. So again, hopefully this month of May, nakatulong ako to consider the points and the motivations even behind the message of our Holy Father. So sa inyo pong lahat, always be blessed and be a blessing.